The hostages are not the only ones returning home. It came at a price. Today, Israel freed roughly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners to get their hostages back. The prisoners went to Gaza. Remember, in Israel, they celebrate the return of 20 innocent hostages. In Gaza, they celebrate the return of 2,000 terrorists. Many of them were serving life sentences for killing Israelis. I was there the last time this happened in 2011. Israel traded 1,000 Palestinian militants for one captured Israeli soldier. Among those released was Yahya Sinwar, who planned the October 7th attacks. And it would be very easy right now to say there must be another Sinwar in the 2,000 released today. That is easy, and that is probably true, but that's not the most important thing you need to know tonight. In that same release, the Israelis released Wafa, a failed suicide bomber, and sent her back to Gaza. And I've spoken a lot about Wafa in recent weeks as part of my Born Lucky book tour. Born Lucky is about my story, and it also has my time in the Middle East. The story of Wafa is one that explains everything about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. When Wafa was a little girl, she burned herself in a cooking accident. The Israelis treated her for free in their hospital. They saved her life. After being treated by the Israelis in Israel, Wafa returned to Gaza, but she had a pass into Israel to continue her free medical care. At that time, very few people in Gaza had a pass that would allow them into Israel because it was during the Second Intifada. So she was ultimately recruited to be a suicide bomber. There's the video right here of her coming to the Israeli checkpoint to get into Israel wearing her suicide vest. Wafa had been given 3 target options by the Alaska Martyrs Brigade: a bus, a cafe, or the hospital that treated her and saved her life. So when she tried to blow herself up there, she was on her way to the hospital that saved her life. As you can tell, once she got to the checkpoint, the Israelis discovered she had a bomb. Wafa tried to detonate the bomb. It didn't go off. She was sentenced to 12 years in jail. But the Israelis took care of her and her wounds again. They educated her, gave her a college degree. She got traded back to Gaza in the Shalit deal. So Wafa was back in Gaza, and in 2011, after the Gilad Shalit deal, when I was a correspondent in Jerusalem for Fox News, I went there to interview her. And I have to be honest, I thought this was going to be a redemption story. It was right before Christmas, a change of heart by Wafa, who now would say that she renounces terror and wants to be a fighter for peace. And boy, was I wrong. I brought with me the video of when you were going to blow yourself up, when you were caught. How do you feel watching this now?
Ya Allah.
Hard to watch?
I am very proud of this. I hope time will come and I will live again the moments in which I was tasting and smelling paradise.
In case you missed that, she was proud and she said she would blow herself up again given the chance. I asked why. She talked about how evil and awful the Israelis are. Same people who saved her life. This is just one story, one example of the type of people the Israelis are up against. And for those of you who say Wafa is the exception to the rule, I invite you to go spend a few days in Gaza, and if you survive, come back and talk to me. The Israelis are not perfect, but that is what they are up against. A lot of the pro-Hamas and anti-Semitic types didn't like my opening on Friday night. The peace deal proves that all those pro-Palestinian protests for the past 2 years that we heard about and we have covered extensively, they were never about Gaza. They were about killing Jews. So here's some of the reactions on social media. Sorry, nobody cares what an autistic retard has to say. This is propaganda spewing from bubbleheads. Never, ever trust Zionist Jews. Did AIPAC slip you a check, Leland? Well, since you asked, no, they did not. But I hate to inform you that I was proven right. In the first days of the ceasefire, Hamas is back doing 2 things: cheering the return of terrorists and reasserting its iron-fisted rule over Gaza. They're posting video after video of their soldiers torturing and executing alleged Israeli collaborators in the streets of Gaza. We can't show you the video, but this is Reuters. A greatly weakened Hamas has sought to resurrect itself in Gaza since the ceasefire took hold, killing at least 33 people, in a crackdown on groups that have tested its grip. They've executed them in the streets. So there are Palestinians being executed in the streets. Where are all the marchers who spent the past 2 years so worried about the Palestinians? Well, a few days ago, they were in New York chanting about the need for another October 7th. They don't care about the Palestinians. They care about killing Jews. And that's what Israel is up against.